the titular supernatural antagonist of the games with the same name, which have a deep yet ambiguous story involving other supernatural entities such as Grandpa, Angeline, Slenderman, Slenderina, Slenderina's husband, and a child, presumably being inspired by a mix of legends and myths. As the story is hugely left open for interpretation, that's what we're gonna do today. Hi folks, I'm R, your narrator. This video will contain spoilers about all of the installments of the Slenderina, Slenderman, and Granny series. With that in mind, let's begin. Granny is an entity which is proven to be of supernatural nature due to her glowing red eyes and immunity to gunshots. She traps people in her house and cellar, including cells, presumably usually men, due to a personal vendetta she still holds, which we will talk about later in the video. In the first game, several writings and a note on a scrap piece of paper inform the player that he isn't Granny's first victim. In fact, there have been many more people she had trapped and killed. One of her ways of killing being the guillotine she sketched and designed, presumably by herself. In the second one, the trend continues with another person waking up in the cellar, yet another victim of Granny. Except in this one, Granny is accompanied by another vicious accomplice called Grandpa. The third installment starts a little different, with the protagonist entering the premises on his will. Upon getting caught by the Grandpa, he gets shot and taken to the cellar cell, where he finds remains of some other victims in different cells. Who is Granny and her malevolent family members? Let's start from the beginning and discuss Granny's story. Let's start with the first installment in the series, Granny 1. The player wakes up in a room. Upon further inspection of the house, he comes across the Granny, a white-eyed, grotesque old woman in a white nightgown and patchy white hair. She wields a bloodied bat and has blood on her mouth, giving us a clue of how she attacks and kills her victims. After shooting Granny by finding disassembled parts of a shotgun and assembling the gun, we learn that Granny is immune to bullets, and possibly she's immortal, being immune to death. This can be further fortified by a diary we find in one of Slenderina's installments.